What's up guys, Well Customs here, and today we have a big review. It is from the Marvel Legends Infinite series Build-A-Figure Rhino Wave, and we are looking at the Rhino figure today. I have all the other figures independently that make up Rhino. I'll do all individual videos on them as the week goes by, but I wanted to start big, and today we are looking at Rhino. Alright, so here is Rhino, and man, he is a great looking Build-A-Figure, I have to say. One of the best Build-A-Figures we've got in a long time. In my opinion, that is. He is huge, he is hefty, he is pretty nice quality, and the detail on his armor, if you want to call it that, the Rhino suit, is just great looking. So we're going to get into that really quickly. We'll zoom in right now. Take a look at all of that detail. Man, that is nice stuff. Let me bring down the exposure, there you go. You can see all the grooves, all the details, all the stuff that went into this figure. The sculpting is nice, the detail is nice, the paint work is really good too. You know, they did a really good job all over this whole figure. And really, even look in the back, they did everything as well. They didn't really skimp out, wasn't lazy. Everything on this guy looks really nice. On the skin, on the surface, that is. The head sculpts are pretty cool too. So for head sculpts and basically accessories, he comes with two different heads. This is the first head that looks more of a normal looking face, serious, and he comes with a second head right here, which is a more of a crazy looking expression, like he's about to attack, and he is just a crazy man. Actually, they're pretty different. This one doesn't have the upper mask for his eyes. The whole face is pretty much open, which is a little bit more classic looking, I guess you could say, but I actually do prefer this one more because of the serious look. But this version has its own benefits, especially if you're doing ACBA or taking pictures or posing and then charging pose. It definitely looks crazy looking, and the details on this one looks pretty nice as well. Trying to zoom in a little more. Man, good job on the wrinkles on his face, the teeth, the eyeballs. Really nice expression overall, looks nice. Now if you want to change the head, all you do is pull this one off. You need a little bit of force, but it'll come out. It's like that. You can see the ball socket, or the socket in there, right there. And you take the new one, and you stick it in there. So it clips in. And right there you have a whole different kind of Rhino. A little more crazier. Like he's on drugs, charging mode, whatever you want to do. Looks pretty cool. So I definitely see the benefits of having this extra alternative head, which is pretty nice to have. But it's just not my real cup of tea to have him posing on my shelf. I do prefer this one. Now having this one back on, I think it looks a lot better in my opinion. It looks more menacing, looks more serious, and that's pretty much how I like my figures to look like on my display case. Alright, so getting to articulation really quickly, you saw the head joint, so you know how it looks like. He has his hinge joint that goes down pretty good, goes up pretty decent, and then goes left and right, click, like that, not bad. His shoulders are pretty good, but he does have these shoulder pads, which do look nice from the outside, but for functionality, they aren't that great. I personally don't like them, so I actually take them off. They're on hinge joints, so they come off and on pretty easily. And I think that looks a lot better, more of a classic looking Rhino. So that's how I actually pose them on my shelf. But for the shoulders, they have hinge joints that rotate, so they go up and down, in and out, no problems there. He has a bicep swivel right there, one point at the elbow, and a swivel and a hinge at the wrist. The hinge isn't the greatest, but it's there. Going to the abs, the ab joint, pretty decent. It clicks forward once, so you get a little bit of a hinge joint right there. Doesn't go back at all really, but I'm at least happy that it has a hinge joint that goes forward, and you can hear the click like that. Waist swivel, which is nice. T-joint and hips, so they go forward that much. They don't go back at all that much because of his butt right here. In and out is okay, but you're not gonna have him doing splits anyway, so it's fine. Thigh swivel right there. One point at the knee right there, and at the ankle he has a hinge and a pivot, which is great. So it has really good articulation. It's basic articulation, but for a big guy, it's really good. So if you want to get him to those classic Rhino poses, like so, running poses obviously, you can do your best like that. So going to some key things I noticed about this figure when I point out myself, I love this figure. He is so hefty, he's so big for a Build-A-Figure. I like how he feels. I love the upper body. You know, his whole body itself is really thick, which is great for a Rhino figure. I never had the Marvel Select one, but I think this one looks a lot better, and also in scale and size. Nice details all over the whole figure. For him having basically a Rhino exoskeleton suit body thing, everything looks really good and detailed. All the cracks, the hooves right here, or the feet, what you want to call it, This really detailed, did a great job. They really didn't, Hasbro really did not skimp out on this guy. All over the figure, there's really nice details as you can see all over the place. So that's really nice. Another thing, like I said, I do like this head sculpt a lot better compared to this one, even though I know the benefits of having this one is pretty good too. And overall, just a really nice figure, like I say. Well worth the whole series. I'm going to do size comparisons comparing the rest right now soon. But I want to say this whole line was really nice. All the figures are pretty good to have. Some of them I'll go over in their individual reviews what I didn't like about them, but overall, all great figures. Alright, size comparison with the rest of the line. As you can see, Rhino looks really good. I like the size and the height difference between the rest of them. He should be a really big guy. Overall though, this is a great line. I love all the figures. Obviously Rhino is my favorite one of the bunch. It's the reason why I got this whole line. But I'm actually going to say the two figures that surprised me the most, that I didn't realize I didn't realize I would like them so much, had to be Superior Venom and Ghost Rider. Superior Venom has so much details in his face sculpt. It looks really nice. I was actually surprised how awesome he is. Also, Ghost Rider, even though he's a retool figure of Star-Lord and an AIM figure, the head sculpt is just fantastic. Man, he looks really cool. Also has the articulation in his jaw, so it looks pretty cool as well. I'll get into all of those reviews later. The most disappointing figure I have to say though is Kraven. Man, he looks really cool, but he has so much quality control, and the quality of the whole figure itself is really bad in my opinion. Just a really big disappointment. I'll get into that later. Overall though, great line of figures. I had Missing Knight over there. I don't know who she is, so I didn't open her. I already had the Build-A-Figure piece as well, so I'm just gonna sell that one or give it away. But overall, all the rest of the figures are great. He's great, Scarlet Spider's great, White Tiger's great. This is a great line of figures. My only gripe of all of them is that though there was some quality control problems in the packaging itself, a lot of warping, a lot of joints that didn't move that good as well. So I really had to spend a lot of time with a lot of these figures fixing the joints, boiling them, popping them off, straightening them out, and doing all this stuff. So I didn't really like that, but after you fix them yourself, they're all great figures. So like I said before, Rhino looks pretty good, everything looks pretty nice, great line of figures right here. And for a nice size comparison, here are the other Build-A-Figures from other Hasbro Build-A-Figure lines. As you can see, Rhino is a little bit taller than the rest of them, but he is definitely a lot bigger in girth and size compared to Odin and Thanos. And for a last size comparison, here's the Marvel Select Hulkbuster and the Marvel Legends Hulk right there. Got Bulldozer behind there, and it's a nice big figures, and I think they look pretty nice overall. I have the Marvel Legends Hulkbuster wave coming up, so in that review I'll have him in the size comparisons with Rhino in that video. But overall, like I said before, this is a nice figure. I'm pretty happy to finally have it. Definitely something you definitely want to pick up if you're a Spider-Man fan or even just a nice Build-A-Figure fan. Just overall a great figure. So that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Like always, comment, criticize, subscribe, do whatever you want to pay attention. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Go to wildlandcustoms.com. If you liked the video, get a thumbs up. Peace.